Good afternoon, welcome to the video, welcome to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be working on the Ford Expedition and fixing that horrible exhaust leak. So it turns out somebody, when they decided to modify the exhaust, they cut the muffler off, they threw a glass pack on it and said it's good to go. Well, looking at it now, I can see a lot of issues with it. And what is more proper to fix this horrible exhaust system than the Harbor Freight $94 welder that we have recently purchased. We only purchased this thing for one main reason, which was to make this rat rod go-kart get going and, just to speed up the process. I mean, I figured, cheap welder doesn't need to make the most perfect welds. It is a rat rod go-kart. In case you don't know, this is the Harbor Freight $94 special. This is a welder, a MIG welder, that is 110 volts or 125 volts depending on what you want to do. This will plug into a regular house outlet and you can weld stuff. It won't make the most pretty welds you'll ever see. I mean, it's got a minimum voltage, maximum voltage, on and off, and your wire speed adjuster. So playing around with it, I can tell you this thing is not a very pretty welder. It's gasless, so you're gonna see a lot of slag going all over the place. There's all kinds of stuff you're gonna see with it. But for $94, you get, wire, you get an extra tip in here, you get the ground strap, you get, a hammer and a cleaning, you get a hammer and a cleaning brush right here. This is really good, actually, it turns out, because, if you're used to welding with a gas welder, you will know that you don't really have to clean up stuff. It'll just make a pretty weld. Depending on how good of a welder you are, you won't need to actually do this unless you're using like an arc welder. Then you want to be able to break it off the, I forget what that is, the flux off of it, and then scrape it, and it makes it nice and cleans it up. It also comes with this, which I've tried to use it. I'm not very happy with it because I like to use both hands when I weld. So you'll just kind of hold this in front of you, use your other hand to weld, and this will be your face shield. It's not the most efficient way to weld, but you can do it. I've tried it, so I know it works. But if you can, go ahead and get a nice welding helmet. I know Harbor Freight actually has some auto darkening ones, which are really nice. I think I do have one somewhere. I'm gonna go have to find it. It's probably covered in dirt by now, but we'll use that for the Expedition. I don't want to use that. I got to use both hands and getting it all set up. But let's go ahead and get this over there, plug it into an extension cord, and start welding up the exhaust. Quick update on the rat rod go-kart. We've got the steering figured out. We got the braking figured out. We've got the sprocket put on the rear end. We got everything pretty much set up. The only thing we're waiting on now, I'm ordering a carburetor for it. I'm gonna be getting the clutch for it, so that way we can bolt the engine on, put the chain on it, and at least have that set up. We're making progress on the Briggs & Stratton engine. We just need a part, pretty much a carburetor, and we can get it running. And then we can get started on the body of this thing, so we can have a seat and all that stuff. And then we'll move on to steering and brakes. But for now, let's just get the welder over to the Expedition and start figuring out what's going on with the exhaust. So let's go over there. Here it is, the 2003 Ford Expedition. Now we've had this thing for, gosh, I think about 6 months now. We've never had any real issues with the exhaust system on it. Oh, I found my helmet, by the way. It's really dirty. It's got spiders living in it. But if you look at it, now at first glance you may think, yep, glass pack, they just cut it, bolted on some adapters of some kind, and that was good enough to go. So I could see that it's been leaking. Actually, it looks like it's leaking on the connector there. We'll try to tighten that too, but we're gonna pretty much tighten all the bolts, and then we're gonna try to put some welds all the way around it to hopefully seal it off. I can see where it's leaking on the bottom of that. And hopefully it'll actually fix this thing up, because it is, when I say it's loose, I mean it's loose. This will show you about how loose it is. When you're driving down the road and you start hearing these squeaks, the exhaust should not move like that. So we're gonna go ahead and put some welds on it and see if we can get it to, well, fix that up, because that's horrible. You're gonna wanna find a good ground, which is gonna be a little bit of a challenge. I'm debating on just sticking it right there. I mean, yeah, we'll go right there. We need a little bit more material, so we're gonna crank up that. Leave it on minimum because it seems to be penetrating just fine. And we're gonna try to see a little better right here. Like that. So it's actually doing a really good job, this welder. If you move it fast enough, you gotta have the wire speed up, it seems like. There we go. It just melts stuff right together. Wow. Now, here's a problem. We got this wire here. Let's see if we can move it, actually. I'd tell you not to buy this brand of glass pack because as I weld it, it just kind of burns right through it. The problem is I can't tell if it's a thrust or a original glass pack because I have the stickers and they're already on the Expedition here. But I got both types on here, so I can't tell you if it's a thrust or just a glass pack. See, if I could tell you, I'd let you know, so you don't have to buy this kind, so you don't have to worry about that kind of stuff. But I don't know. So as you can see, this welder for $100 just did this beautiful weld here. I mean, it's not beautiful, it did make a mess of it, but it's not bad for $100. I'm not a professional at all, but the way it went right through this and melted it perfectly together, it looks like it's gonna seal really good. We'll have to clean up all the slag and everything off it, but that is what I was talking about. When I tried to spot weld that so it wouldn't move on the glass pack itself, it just melted right through it. This glass pack, despite what it is weaker than the original factory metals. Yeah, you can see this clamp is kind of compromised. It doesn't look too good anymore. It's all bent out of whack. They had to cut the glass pack to get to fit on this, so I could see why it leaked, but it doesn't look like it really leaked around this area. It's over there where it leaked. All right, guys, let's hope. Oh my gosh, my wife has the seat really weird. Oh, I messed up her seat covers. Let's see if it sounds better. That sounds a lot better. But let's see if we could hear any leaks under here. I definitely hear some on the back one now. I could feel it. Yeah, it's coming from where it bolts from the exhaust. This is all good. It looks like where you bolt, where the glass pack makes its way to the exhaust is where it's leaking here. Now I'm gonna check the front now. We're gonna see if we have any leaks there. But in order to fix that, we're gonna have to take off the clamp and everything. Oh, I can see it right here. Oh yeah, it's melting this. You can see how this is discolored, so you know you gotta, oh yeah, all up here. Right here too. Oh, it's crinkled. Wow, this back part is leaking a lot. All right, we're gonna have to do something about this back one. This is leaking really bad. I actually know how to get a good set of wheels for this thing for cheap. Oh man. They ended up taking these wheels off a Ford Raptor because they didn't like the noise it made on the highway. So they got the wheels off of it and the tires, and they were gonna sell them for $400 and they'd bolt right up on. My go-to would be to get the Raptor wheels and tires from somebody that just doesn't want them, or you just buy them used. The tires were brand new. They only had like 1,000 miles on them, so that'd be a really good little deal right there for putting bigger tires on this thing. Now we got movement here. The clamp out of the way, you can see movement all over the place. So it's really weird welding this piece. It doesn't want to weld like the other side did. Something's wrong here. Well, I don't know. I was gonna say maybe the ground's too far, but I welded the bottom of this and it was absolutely perfect. I don't know. Looks horrible, but we'll keep going. That's a little better. That was a weird spell there. A little inconsistent, but it's going. But it still did all right. It kind of did what I wanted it to do at the end. Once again, guys, I'm gonna apologize for all these horrible camera angles, but we've gotten this welded up, and I had to use my opposite hand I usually weld with, so that was really a fun challenge. And now we're just gonna finish it up by doing that top corner and probably do a few welds on the other piece. Okay, guys. After a lot more welding, I think we've got it. Mess up her seat cover again. I think we got it figured out. Alright guys, so as you can tell and hear, the exhaust sounds so much better. I didn't really get any before shots of the exhaust. I really should have, but I didn't, so please forgive me for that. But you can hear, I guess you could kind of hear before I finished welding all the way around the pipe, the ticking and everything. You probably could hear that, I'm not sure, but it sounded awful. And it always has had a little bit of a tick to it, and it never sounded actually that good. But after doing all that welding, it paid off. So now, if you ever wanted to do this yourself, I recommend you you check your, I don't know what kind of glass pack to get. I wish I could tell you which kind I got under there, but I don't know, because there's two different brands. There's glass pack and thrust, where at least where I'm at, and the stickers on both sides of the vehicle. There's a thrust sticker and a glass pack sticker, so it makes it very complicated to figure out which kind is actually on this. So if I could tell you, I would tell you, but I could tell you the metal on that is pretty thin, garbagey metal, probably made in China, so it's not the most high quality. So if you can, try to get American-made glass packs. That welder did a very good job, and for $100, you can't really go wrong with it. And you can get 90 days on it, but if you need to, you can extend that warranty if you're afraid it's gonna, you know, break. I didn't get the warranty, so I mean, I've been a little rough with it, I will say, dropping it and everything. So thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more content. And I'll see you in the next video, and hopefully in the next video we'll be making that Briggs & Stratton right there run. I really want it to run. Also, we might be making a rack of some kind for the truck, like a Baja rack. And we'll probably actually use that welder and see how well it does with like angle iron and stuff. So we'll probably be building a, well, it's actually called a headache rack, so that way we can put wood on it and everything like that, but it will make it more of a Baja style. So stay tuned for that video, and stay tuned for the rat rod go-kart. I'm not sure, also, if you guys have any ideas what to call this thing, I need to know. I don't have any idea what to call it. I've been calling it the go-kart / golf cart, but I've recently kind of thought about like rat cart. That sounds pretty good, or you know, something around golf, I don't know. Just let me know what you guys think. So go ahead and comment below what you want to hear about names. Comment below about names with the rat rod go-kart or the rat cart. And thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.